No, we're excited to have you on. You're our first Rainbow Six player.
Awesome.
We've done Valorant, we've done Rivals, we've done physiotherapists,
neuroscience, brain computer interface stuff,
and now it's time for Rainbow Six.
I'll try to keep up with the expectations here.
Well, let's start with an intro for people who don't know you.
I'm KingGeorge. I'm a Rainbow Six streamer now. I used to play professionally for 2-3 years, and I won the first Rainbow Six Invitational in 2017. So yeah, other than that, just been doing a lot of YouTube content, streaming, stuff like that, playing some Aimlab,
selling some bidets.
Yep. Yes.
We were literally just looking at the ad on TikTok right before this.
Oh my God, it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
But they're needed. Like the first time I went to Japan and I was like, whoa, this toilet's crazy. What is this? And then I tried the bidet and I'm like, why don't we have this in North America on every toilet?
It actually blows my mind. Like that's what happened to me too. Like when I went to Japan, like before streaming, I don't know, it was like 10, 11 years ago now. And I was just like, at first I didn't want to use it. I'm like, it's kind of weird,
Me too.
And then I used it. I'm just like, why in the US do we not use this on every toilet? It doesn't make any sense. It's cleaner, it's faster, more environmentally friendly. It saves you money, like less clogs. Like there's just no reason not to use it.
They have everything figured out. They have you can play ambient noise, so you're not too loud in there. There's like a little button for that.
Literally soundscapes.
Yeah.
They do. Yeah. Like the one I made is just like it's purely mechanical, so it's like just supposed to be like easy. You could put it on any toilet. It's purely like economical. But the ones in Japan, like there are some crazy ones. Like they will. They will spray a fragrance after. They will dry you up. I don't know, massage your back maybe. I don't even know.
Oh, that's awesome.
This is already probably the most interesting first 90 seconds of any of the podcast.
We're doing an hour on bidets today.
We're getting everybody in the bidet call first. We got to get that out of there.
I'm interested in your origin story. Okay. So how did you start gaming? What drew you to Rainbow Six specifically? And kind of just share that.
Yeah, so originally when I first started playing Rainbow Six, I played the beta. Funny enough, I walked into a Best Buy. This is like back in the day when you used to buy games in person and stuff like that, still kind of. And I was like walking around and they were handing out physical cards for Rainbow Six beta. And I was like, oh, I played Rainbow Six Vegas with my cousin when we were younger. Like maybe this is cool. It's a free beta. Why not? I'll take it home with me. So I take it home. I scratch the code off with a quarter. Put in the code to to Uplay, and I'm playing. I'm like, wow, this is like really fun. At the time, I was a Counter-Strike player and maybe some Call of Duty Search and Destroy. So I was like, this is like really fun. But then I didn't think much of it. I'm like, it's gonna be one of those games that I drop like $60 on, and I probably never play it again. So I was like, okay, well, I'll pass on it for the time being. Like it hadn't actually come out yet. So then I ended up I worked out all the time back then, like pretty much every day. I got a shoulder injury, so I couldn't work out at the gym. And my one friend, Adam, who like a lot of people know that I played with and stuff like that, he used to buy basically every game that came out, and he'd play it for like 2 hours and just kind of stop. And he's like, I'm going to buy that Rainbow Six. I'm like, dude, you didn't even play the beta with me. Like, what do you mean you can buy it? And he's like, yeah, I'm going to buy it. I'm like, you know what? That game was actually really fun. I am actually going to buy it too. So I bought it. We played it together. As usual, he played it for about a day. And then, but I saw a bunch of my friends that we played Counter-Strike with were kind of playing it. So I actually started playing with them more. And the rest is history. That little group of players, we actually somehow qualified for Pro League by playing Go For tournaments back then. So back then, now they're little weekly tournaments that are hosted by Face It. Used to be ESL back then. And we placed in the 4 weeks that we played because I had more time because my shoulder was injured. We placed top 8, which qualified us for Pro League. We were very terrible the first year, but we still qualified somehow. And after that, just kind of moved around to different teams. That actual exact team I stayed with, and we picked up like new players and stuff like that because some people didn't want to play full time and stuff like that. And then eventually I ended up moving to Continuum from like Flipside, which was the first team. And that's where we won the Invitational, which they became like Evil Genius. And then after that, I joined like Rogue. So, which is, and then our first team actually now is Dark Zero. So there's still like a pretty big Oregon siege. So it's kind of cool to see like that original roster is still kind of around. So in some form, different org. But
it evolves over time into something else. Yeah, that's awesome. What made you switch to streaming and creating content? Like, especially being successful and winning, like, the first Invitational. What kind of was the impetus to be like, oh, I want to do this other thing?
Yeah, so I still remember when I was on Continuum, I used to like barely ever stream because I would get lower FPS, and I'm like, I just want like the best FPS, and I want to just be able to play ranked.
Yeah.
And there were the two owners of Continuum at the time were Exec and Smack. So they're both like really cool guys. They're both streamers. Exec like used to work for TSM, but like after that's where he went. Exec, I'm not sure. I haven't actually seen him in a long time, but he both of those two encouraged us highly. They're like, look, this is great. You guys won the Invitational. It's fantastic. But, winning a tournament is for today. If you stream and create content and take advantage of this momentum that you have right now, it's something that you could have like forever and, make a career out of it. And like, I definitely very much attribute, a lot of the, success and stuff that I had to them for encouraging me to stream. And for pushing me to do it, because I probably wouldn't have. I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of funny that use social media, I guess, and streaming and stuff for a living because I didn't like it. I liked Twitch and YouTube, but that's about it. And I wouldn't want to create content really. But they really pushed us to do it, and I'm really happy that they did because now it's whatever, like 8 years later, and I'm still doing content creation for a living. So, and I appreciate it very much.
Yeah, we actually just had someone on, and we were talking about what are the skills that you need to be a pro player versus a successful content creator. What are your thoughts on that?
I think they're completely different. Like people will pick up and watch someone because they're the best, right? Like that will always have a place. You'll see it a lot of times in games. There's like, the current best player has like a horrible setup, no mic, no cam. They're just destroying everybody. Like people will always watch that, I guess, to an extent. But if you could add in, something like for me, I used to get really mad and like rage. People loved that. So I know you remember. I've calmed down a lot now, but yeah, back then I used to have my like, everyone just post my like rage moments all over the place. And, if you could add that in with, some funny moments, some plays, like actually having somewhat of a content plan, even if it's kind of not intentional, doing like guides. I remember we did those together for a while too, for Aimlab even too. But that was something that I was like really well known for in the Siege community. Like, I guess giving people that like knowledge that you have, like regular players, pretty much everyone can pick up on that kind of stuff and like learn, and that will like help grow your audience and stuff like that. And I mean, to me, it's fun. Like a long time ago, this is actually 16 years ago, because I had my YouTube anniversary there, but I was a YouTube partner for like 16 years because I made some like tech videos in college. So I've always kind of liked making like guide videos and like tech, like, I used to do it for tech stuff, but now for Siege and stuff. So I've kind of always liked it. It's like, okay, I have this like extra bit of knowledge. Maybe I don't know everything, but hey, let me share what I have. And then there's people that can critique it in the comments and give other tips and hopefully help some other people out. So
for sure. I think doing that with like the entertainment factor, be it rage or anything else, especially for gaming, is so perfect because there's so many people that try to approach like gaming improvement, or like we've had partners where they want to do it like very serious. Or this like, oh no, here's this like, I'm a neuroscientist, right? That's like as nerdy and as serious as it gets and boring as it gets, right? And they're like, oh no, they're trying to do like this very serious stuff. But it's like gaming is meant to be fun. Yeah. Like you're not doing it just because it's just meant to be like serious. It's meant to be fun, maybe borderline therapeutic. Like it's supposed to, bring you joy and rage and everything else. It's not supposed to be just like super serious. So like that real dry where it feels like, you're studying a textbook of just like, oh, positioning in this particular game or whatever, like never really does does super well. And the stuff that has, it seems like an entertainment value where you can actually be like, this is enjoyable. And I think the rage stuff too, everyone just relates to, right? Like everyone has felt like that, right? Everyone's just like, holy shit. Like whether you've expressed it in the same way, right? Like launch something across the room, kick the chair, whatever, but everybody feels that. And I think that's like an actually like an important component. Like it's entertaining too, but it also like creates a sense of, I don't know, like not closeness, but like familiarity.
He's just
right?
like me.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone has those experiences where you're just like, hopefully not breaking stuff. I've actually never broken anything, so like, just mostly yell and like maybe hit my desk or something like that. But there's, I think everybody goes through that, or you're at least like I always used to find it funny. There was whenever I'd see like the comments online and stuff like that, when I'd have like someone would put like a rage video up of me or something like that, like most people are always like, oh, this is like hilarious, blah, blah, blah. I do the same thing. But there's always those people that are like, oh my gosh, how could you be so mad over a video game? It's like, what do you mean, dude? Have you ever played a video? Have you played Rainbow Six? Like,
those are the ones that aren't playing for sure. 100%.
I remember there was a few years ago, there was like that little documentary video on you that was like literally, it was like the King of Rage or something. I don't remember what it was. It was like really good that kind of showed those two sides of like, the entertainment aspect of it and stuff like that. That was pretty cool. I actually Jimmy and I have to record a Rage video for another piece of content for an Aimlabs promo. What tips would you give for maximum Rage communication?
All you have to do is just probably turn on Rainbow Six, queue for rank for one game. If you want for added spice, just solo queue. You'll probably get the 4 dumbest teammates possible. And, it'll just come naturally. It'll come naturally. You get content within one game, you'll be fine.
We were talking about that earlier too, where like now that I'm older, I don't get as much time to play. But at like night, my kids, everyone will go to bed. I'd be like, okay, cool. I got like an hour, 2 hours, something. I'm gonna play and relax. Mm-hmm. And I don't know why I think I'm gonna play and relax. That's never the case, right? Like I'm gonna play, I'm gonna queue, I'm gonna like an idiot. I'm gonna solo queue, and right now in Rivals, and I'm gonna get pissed off and frustrated and go to bed like much later. So yeah, I don't know what a game like Siege. You talk about getting the beta, back when you could buy physical games like at Best Buy, in a time now where like, I don't know that we're in a golden age of games, but there's so many games that are coming out like high quality. There seems like there's a new multiplayer shooter like every other month anymore. And most of them just absolutely crash and burn. What do you think has given, Siege such a long staying power for so long that, it's still a massive, massive game that's really, really, really hard to do.
Yeah. I think the differences for Siege, and this also goes for other games too, if there's like a specific niche that they can kind of cover and have something different that they do that other games don't. And then I don't know, Rainbow Six was really buggy for a long. It's actually like in a pretty good spot now, but for a long time it was really, really, really bad. It was because it was so buggy. But I think if you feel like for Siege, at least there's the operator abilities. It's you can't like jump. The movement's not crazy, stuff like that. So it kind of the game has sped up a lot over the years, but it's still a lot slower paced than say like a Call of Duty or something like that. So for people that are looking for more of like a little bit of like an arcadey tactical shooter, like it's still kind of fast paced and there's a lot of cool gadgets and stuff like that you can use. It doesn't really rely on like you go walk in and pop everyone's head off. Like you don't have to have the best aim ever. Like obviously having good aim helps a lot, but if you're able to use the gadgets and utility and play intelligently, you could generally outsmart your opponents who are better. I mean, it still happens it happens all the time where there's, pro players who are playing ranked and they get beat by a regular stack of like ranked players. That won't happen in a lot of other games. But there's enough utility and gadgets that if the pro players are just like not taking it seriously, they're going to lose. You lose to worse players in Rainbow Six because you lacked the discipline in that particular game. And I think that's kind of unique. Like a lot of other games, like generally speaking, the better player will always win, right? Even if they're kind of being lazy, they could just like push out like the raw talent to like push through a bit. In Siege, you actually have to like commit to playing the game semi. Like, I mean, if you're really good, you could probably push through it. But if you're the other team's running the right utility and strategy, they could beat you if they're a better player. And I think a lot of these games too, now they're like kind of so established. If there's another game to come along to try to challenge it, it needs to be way better for the people to leave, right? Like you're saying, like Rivals, for example. I don't play Rivals as much, but it's taking a lot of like Overwatch's community, right? Because it's finally doing something like Overwatch is kind of like, it wasn't like growing like a ton, but it was an established big game, and it kind of held that spot. But now that Rivals is here, it's kind of the same game, sort of, right? Same like category, but it does it a lot of things better, right? So that's why a lot of people are kind of gravitating that way. And it's really difficult, I think, for an established game to lose its spot unless they kind of, mess up a little bit, kind of like Overwatch did. And, people are actually willing to switch to a new game that's that much better.
Yeah. Has there been much? I'm trying to think of like games that would be like a direct niche competitor to Siege over the years. I mean, with like destructible environments and the kind of similar pace. And, I always liked I thought it was interesting how much like spatial localization of audio like really played a role. And I remember, we've partnered with Ubisoft. They've been amazing to work with, of just like how ridiculous their sound engine is and like how complicated it is to be able to do that. Like sounds through holes you put through walls and whatever, are people below you, above you, and stuff like that was fascinating. But I can't think of anything that,
I don't know of any game. No.
Really.
Yeah, I think
tried to go head to head.
I think Siege is like, it is obviously a really popular game. There's, a lot of people that play. But I think it's like almost like a little bit like too niche for like another company to try to like, there's been some like indie companies that have made like Siege like games, but I don't think another big publisher has really taken a shot at it because like Siege players really just kind of play Siege. It's kind of like, Counter-Strike in a way, where it's like people that play Counter-Strike, they just play it for like 20 years, which was actually me before Siege. So like that's actually kind of why I like it. It feels kind of like Counter-Strike, like updated ish, right? So I don't know. I don't think I could really see a publisher making a Siege like game and trying to compete with it. And like it would really have to be like better in every single way, especially with like the huge update now they're coming out with Siege X. It's like, I don't know. I just don't really see it being like a super like viable. It probably just would kind of flop I'm sure people would play it for like a bit, but it'd be one of those things where it's like, it's around for 2 months, 6 months, and it dies. Once the ad dollars run out.
Your buddy will play it for one day. You'll buy it for in 2 hours.
Yep, I'll pull an Adam.
I think the IP helped Rivals because my kids actually dragged me into it. We were all playing like Overwatch and stuff, right? We'd play, and they were like, "Oh, here's this new game, and I want to be Spider-Man. Like, I want to be Captain America or whatever." And it was like, "Oh, okay." And then it was like, "Oh, actually, this is like Overwatch, but it does all these other things I was complaining about really well." As the team ups, the destructible environments and stuff, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a cool game. I played some Rivals, like when it came out. I played like a few hours of it and stuff. I did some like sponsored stuff with it, and I played some just on my own. It's actually like a really fun game. So I'm glad they came out with it. It's better than Overwatch. So,
what other games are you playing right now?
Mostly just Siege at the moment. Like for the most part. So we had our third kid, so it's been pretty busy.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So it's just mostly Siege right now and getting ready for Siege X and stuff like that. So yeah, probably will incorporate like some single player games. I played Alien Isolation recently, even if they're like older games, if it's something I missed out on. So people like the horror games, like seeing you scream.
Yeah. How old is your oldest? Like
3.
5? 3.
Yeah.
Okay, so 3 with 3 is the oldest. Are you sleeping?
So it's kind of.
Like it's a super fun part. Once my oldest is 11, 8, and now 2. And like as soon as they had interest in playing games with their dad, that was the best. Like, okay. Like we're going to just play games all the time. It's like it's an amazing feeling. So we'll have some rage. Some Rainbow Six Siege. You'll see their first Rainbow Six game in a few years.
That'll be the first tantrum. It won't be rage. The first tantrum, in Siege.
Does your wife play games?
Sometimes she mostly plays like more like Mario games and stuff like
Okay.
that. So she's really big into like Mario Kart, Super Smash Brothers. So Peach main. So
Peach. The Jenny play games?
No, I mean, she plays Stardew Valley,
Okay.
things like that. But a lot of the times when I'm playing games, I'll go upstairs afterwards, and then she'll just mock me because she was listening to what I was saying with my buddies, and she's like, "Oh yeah," like, and then she'll be like, "Let's go, let's go."
my wife will actually do that too. She's like, "Oh yeah." She's like, "You know what?" She's like, "I'm gonna stream snipe you." I'm like, "Do you even like? What do you mean?" She's like, "I was watching your stream." She's like, trying to mess with me, right? So
Yeah. Has she ever come into your room and like secretly recorded you?
there has been like a few times where she's like she'll walk over, 'cause she'll bring me food sometimes while I'm streaming, and she'll just like record before she puts it down. She'll start laughing. She's like, especially if like, I'm obviously now I've calmed down in my older years, but before, like, we first got married and so I was still going crazy, like raging and stuff like that. And she's like, she would just record it and stuff like that. And she's like, now you have two perspectives,
Yeah. No, Jenny will come downstairs and record. And she's like, I'm going to show everybody this. Because like most of my friend group, they're not gamers. So for them to see something like that, it's like kind of strange.
Oh, like it's a different Jimmy that comes out.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, I totally know what you mean with that. It's always like there's people that they know me in real life. Like we've obviously met in real life and stuff. It's completely different. Like I'm super like calm and stuff like that, and they're like when they figure out what I do, and then I'm like, it's funny. My parents specifically will always be like, he's not, that's just what he is when he plays games and stuff like that,
He's not like this.
Yeah, because like they'll see me online and I'm like raging over whatever, an Ayana that I couldn't see her head, for example. Like I put like a clip up today, and it's like that's like one moment in the stream. That's not at all how it is in real life, but it's always really funny. They're always like so confused. They're like, "Wait, that's you?" Like, they're like, "You're so quiet and like calm." I'm like, "Yeah, I get all my rage out in the game, sure, of course." What's there to be mad about now?
Do you have the opposite where like people recognize you and they like expect you to be a particular way?
Oh yeah, sometimes, yeah. They're like, a lot of times when I meet people in person, they're like, "You're so like calm in real life," and like I'm like, well, I think everybody kind of has it. It's like when you're on stream and stuff like that, and you're playing a game, you're like really into it. You're getting, you have a lot of emotions where you're getting mad and you're excited because you got a crazy kill. Whereas when you're just having a conversation with somebody, in real life and stuff like that, it's completely different, right? You're just, hanging out, and it's just a completely different thing. So I think a lot of people have that experience as well, but it's much more obvious when you like record everything that you're doing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, when you record and put it on the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
It's because they haven't played Siege ranked.
Right.
They would
know. They would know.
Yeah. Record them like you do it, and just
Well, I always tell everybody, I was like, look, like whenever they're like, oh, you rage a lot in Siege and stuff like that, I'm like, listen, I'm calm in traffic. Okay, that's how you know Siege is bad. If I can be calm in traffic and not get mad at all, Siege is bad.
Yeah.
I was just very not calm in traffic on the way getting here. Actually,
what if Ubisoft came to you today and said, "We need you to fix ranked"? What are you going to do?
Well, I've actually already told them. They generally laugh at me when I say this, but I'm dead serious. I think they should remove every shield from the game. I hate shields so much; it's insane. But honestly, like they've actually done a very good job with pretty much everything in terms of like balancing, fixing most of the issues in the game. I hate shields. And then one thing that I actually would do for rank 2 is right now you play 3 rounds. On one side, say you're attacking first, and then you swap to like say you're starting attack, you go to defense, and then at the overtime it's a coin flip, and then it's like one round for like different sides. I would go back to what the origin of the game had, which was let's say you start on defense, it's like defense attack. You go like one right after the other. Just because some of the maps and stuff like that obviously skew to be defender, like slightly attacker or defender sided. So you're playing ranked. A lot of times you have like 4 randoms that are playing with their feet or something. I don't really know what they're doing. So it's a cut me some slack. I got to attack 3 rounds in a row on skyscraper while I have 4 people playing with their feet, trying to make me laugh, screaming like over the mic and
playing with their feet. The best insult. I remember like early on there was like a Aimlabs stream. It had someone on the team that like wasn't very good like playing, but was like a part of the Steam stream, and there were like comments on Steam like during the stream. It was like Twitch, but it was on Steam.
Yeah.
And the best one,
Steam
was
broadcast
like
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. He was like this guy aiming with a steering wheel. Like it's so bad. Is he aiming with a steering wheel? It was brutal.
You guys got to do a content series about that. That's actually be perfect. Playing Aimlab with like different aiming devices, like a steering wheel. There was actually a guy for Siege. His name was basically homeless, and he would like take a banana and like connect it to his like computer through like diodes, and he would play and like kill people with a banana. You guys should do a series like that, like like who can get the highest score with like a banana or something like that.
Oh, 100%. Yes, absolutely. We could all types of like different devices. We'll do a steering wheel challenge, a banana challenge. We've seen some people like Carrie did like a tablet.
Oh yeah, he had the pen.
He did the pen. And there was we had like Aimlabs mobile for a little bit, and I would see that blew my mind. They'd have like a tablet, not even a phone. They'd have a tablet, and you can just see that they would record so you can see their hands and their fingers and what they're doing, and it was insanity. I'm just like, what?
It's crazy.
It's going on. What is even happening? Right? I couldn't even follow, and I made it, and I don't know what's going on. What is this black magic trickery going on right now?
I saw somebody playing like Call of Duty Mobile, and it like blew my mind when they were like running around like quick scoping people. They're like, whoosh. I'm like, what is this? Like, there's like some like sorcery going on right here or something like that. Like is this guy possessed? Like what's going on here? Moving his fingers in ways I didn't think was possible.
Yeah. There was one of the guests of my friend Ton. She has a company Emotive. They do like EEG, consumer EEG headsets, and there's a streamer that uses one of their headsets and was like beating bosses in Elden Ring. Like just with her brain, like just using the headset and like blowing my mind because I suck at that game like with a controller or mouse and keyboard, and she just no hands.
Yeah, no hands.
I felt like like Marty McFly in the Back to the Future 2 or whatever. Like, oh, these are your hands. That's a baby's toy. Yeah. Like, it's crazy.
Some of the stuff that I've seen for like Elden Ring and I think I've seen those videos too where there's this I don't know what her name is, but there's this one girl, she beats it on like a dance pad.
Yeah, DDR pad.
Like that, like playing with one hand. It's like I don't know how people do that. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Yeah, there's no way I could do it. I've tried to play Elden Ring, and I was telling you, I played like 5 minutes, and I'm like, I can't figure this out.
I fell off a map in the first like 6 minutes, and I was like, never mind.
Well, it's like I have like 20-something thousand hours in Siege, but like then when someone tells me to do like when I do like charity streams and stuff, I'll do like a left hand challenge or something for a round if someone does a big donation or whatever, and it's like I could barely even play. Like I don't understand how someone's like so proficient at playing with like a dance pad or like one hand or whatever. Like I don't know. I play a ton, and it's a game that I'm the most familiar with, and I still can't do that. It's just people's ability to pick up and like I don't know play a game I guess that they're used to in like such a different ways has always been like crazy to me. Like I can't do it personally. Even playing on a controller, I'm like what do I do here? Like
I can barely play nowadays if I'm not in the exact perfect position. Like so my posture.
You have to be sitting up straight, 31.1 inches on your desk.
Keyboard has to be perfectly tilted. Like I need that exact feeling, or else it feels like I can't aim or do anything.
I used to be like that too. There's actually like I forgot. I think it was maybe like Counter-Strike tournament. There was a guy who like busted out a level in a ruler. I don't know if you saw that, but he was like taping down his mouse pad to like the perfect angles. He was like measuring out the desk, leveling his keyboard. I'm like, that's dedication, Hey, you get that home feel, I guess.
Yeah, it's pretty intense.
Yeah, I think that's a liege.
Oh,
Is
did he?
that? Okay.
I think so, yeah, because I feel like I saw that same video.
Yeah. I don't know who it was, but I was just seeing that. I was like, that's crazy. Like I definitely would try to replicate my home setup as much as possible, but not to that extent.
Yeah. Then on the other hand, you have like tens who will just like swap his mouse.
Yeah,
So you just be
mid-round.
like, forget it.
Yeah.
Like, just be like, no, just give me a completely different one. Which is pretty crazy. I'm just terrible in all settings, so it doesn't really matter, ruler or not. I feel like, do you feel that too? Like, as you age, I mean, so 2017, I don't know how many years ago was that? 8 years. That was like when we started the company or something like that. Do you feel like any difference in, like, does aging have any impact on, you think, like mechanical skill or ability or?
I do see people say that a lot, and I mean, I think to an extent it probably does. Like, you probably lose a little bit of reaction time, but I think whatever you lose in reaction time, you make up with in experience, right? Like, you've experienced, maybe not every scenario, but like the vast majority of scenarios. So you can kind of figure, like, oh, you heard the sound, you know exactly how long you have to do this, and that kind of makes up for it. And like picking up on the different cues and different things in the game, and having better teamwork, better positioning over the years makes up for that, slight drop in reaction time. And like, I don't know, you'd know way better than I do because you're a scientist. But is there, so like, at least from what I've seen, there's like not like that much of a drop off in reaction time over the years, like assuming you're like keeping up with things. I've always kind of been under the impression when I saw there was like a fighting games player who was like 55, which requires like frame perfect reaction time. I'm like, I think a lot of it is more like when people get older, they have more obligations, right? And they kind of like lose the ability to like grind and like really try super hard. I mean, like, so for me, I hit like top 7 champion in Rainbow Six like a couple seasons ago still, and I'm still hitting like top 50, top 100 every season, which is still pretty good. Like for I'm 34 now,
Not
bad. Not bad. And like I think a lot of it is like you'll make it back up in experience. I don't think you lose that much reaction time. I think a lot of it is you get more obligations, right? People get bored. I mean, I don't, but like a lot of people get bored. Oh, they've been playing the same game for 10 years. Oh, like they've been running the same strats, especially if they're playing professionally for that long. They kind of get like, oh, I've been playing supportively for 10 years. Oh, then they have other obligations. They get a significant other, maybe they have a house they have to take care of, then kids, all of that stuff. Like, they have other distractions. It's like, I think when you're 18, 19, 20, whatever, younger 20s, you have one thought and one thought only. That's like, I want to be super good at this game. I want to be the best, like, especially for pro players, right? It's, I want to win everything, blah, 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 blah. It's like after you've kind of won all the events and stuff that you want to win, and it's like, okay, now you're like looking at, whatever, like I said, all the other life obligations and things that like end up popping up. So I think it's more of that than reaction time falling off. But you would, like I said, you would know better than I would.
Yeah. Once you get to my age, it definitely, like, we did like a study. We looked at roughly like, I don't know, 18 to in the 50s. And once you get, like, I'll be 40 something this year, 44, 43. I don't know. I lost count. Too many. We definitely, with like late 30s, you started to see a drop off, but there really wasn't that much of a change in like early 20s to mid 30s, like a little bit, but not much. And I think what you're saying is actually a much larger effect for sure.
Yeah.
Which is like people just kind of stop doing it. With anything else, it's going to atrophy. It's not going to be the same. But the other thing you pointed out is, I think, what people that don't play games at a high level or don't play a lot of games don't necessarily appreciate is just the tremendous amount of different skills needed to play at a very high level. So, like, in the same thing, George Foreman won the boxing championship in his 40s, right? It was like heavyweight champion of the world. Randy Couture, heavyweight champion of the world in the UFC, and he was like 46 or something like that, right? Like, for sure, they weren't as fast or as strong or as any younger opponents, but it didn't matter because there were so many other components, like a chess match, that matter, right? And they were in gaming is the same thing. Like, I'm saying that as someone who like made something called Aimlabs, which is like very clearly, focused on one skill. And even then trying to convince Aimlabs players like, hey, aim is like one of the things.
Yeah.
There's like, let you like, You're not, just because you have great aim, you're stuck in gold for a reason.
Yeah.
Like maybe try fixing some of the other stuff. You know what I mean? Like for sure. But there's so many components. I think that's what makes it super fun to watch at a high level and to play it for sure. It makes it more unpredictable and fun.
Mm-hmm. Oh, definitely.
What's like the number one skill you think a Siege player needs to have to be pro?
For being a professional player, I think it's like proper teamwork. Like it doesn't matter. Like obviously having good aim and stuff is like important, but like having proper teamwork and like drone work, using the operators efficiently and like together as a team is what's important. A lot of people kind of skip that part. They're just like, oh, I'll just aim train all day and then I'll just blow everyone's head off and be it'll never work. If you see some of the setups that people have and stuff, you could be in like what is in ranked like a power position that you can never move somebody out of, and they could just peek over and over and over again with like, I don't know, Doc ACOG or something. You will get like blinded and burned alive like in a corner while you can't even move, where you're being pressured from like 5 positions and like shot below. Like pro teams have the ability to move you out of spots, and if you can't like depend and play off of your teammates and fall back properly, you're gonna like lose every time. Like it's the ability. Like it's always kind of funny. Like sometimes when I'm playing ranked, like a lot of times pro players and teams, like if I play a whole pro team, they'll just be kind of messing around. But it's funny, like when they start like losing and they don't want to lose to a streamer and become YouTube content. Oh, it's hilarious when they like turn it around and they're like, all right, run strats now, run strats. It's over. No more messing around. And it's like if they're playing properly, like you're not going to be able to move. Like you're just dead. Like every spot they'll just flush you out. So like having that coordination to attack and push people out and to defend and be able to like push off those attacks is like super important. It's something everyone pretty much misses. And at a lower level, people don't drone enough. So like if you're even like pro teams don't even drone enough. I mean, a lot of times you'll watch like games and replays. Droning is so important in Rainbow. It's free information, right? Like why would you not take advantage of it as much as possible? Like droning, and then where you like leave your drone is important too. You don't want to just drive it into the enemy, like putting it on either like a flank or like an angle for a teammate to watch. I mean, what's easier, walking into a room and flicking all over the place and hoping to blow someone's head off, or knowing that guy's in the left corner, he's crouched, here's a soft, you could yellow ping in Rainbow Six on the drone, here's a yellow ping, this is his head, pre-fire this spot. I mean, that's a lot easier, and people just don't take advantage of it enough. It's such like a powerful tool that people decide to like not use as much and not take advantage of.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think they don't take, like, it seems obvious, right? Like that information would be so important and help. Why do you think that they just don't?
Laziness.
Like it's not as
it really is. Yeah.
Just
like people don't like droning. So people like ask like all the time. They're like, because they'll watch me play and I like, I have, decent mechanical skill and stuff like that still, but it's not like there's definitely people that have much better mechanical skill. They're like, how are you still hitting like such a high rank all the time? Like the difference is that if you notice, I'll always drone my teammates in. My drone placement is super good. It's always on all the flanks. I always make sure to call out to my teammates. I don't just, if I'm playing ranked, I want to win, like I'll tell my teammates like, all right, we're missing this operator, that operator, where, let's take from this side of the map. I try to get people to like play together, to push together, to drone together. I call for specific people. Like you can't just say like, oh, can someone drone, this room? Name a specific person. Hey, you drone me in, stuff like that. I think those things. Feet? Yeah. It makes a big difference. Like trying to get people that like don't just hop on TikTok when they die. Like even when you're dead, you can watch cameras and drones in Siege. When you're dead, I know it's not as fun but like, I think a lot of people, even if they're really good, like they'll just run in and they'll just die, and then when they're done, they just get on their phone and like scroll TikTok. Oh, next round. And like that's the difference between, like maybe even being able, if you're super good, you could probably still hit champion, maybe, right? Like without this teamwork. But that's the difference between being like super high champion and like everybody else. And once again, you don't need insane mechanical skill to do that. You could be like obviously if you're going to be hitting super high champion, you got to have decent ability to get your kills and frags too. But it's not as important. Like the teamwork is what's important. Basically, when I play it ranked, I play it kind of like I used to play pro. Like obviously not as seriously, But like I think that's what a lot of people enjoy. It's like it's good teamwork, it's good team play. It shows you that, this is something that people could replicate at any skill level and they will rank up and win more games. It's not, there's definitely some like content creators and pro players where it's like run in and blow everyone's head off. Well, that's not replicatable for like 99% of people, But what I do is anyone could replicate. Anybody could replicate it. It's just good like fundamental Rainbow Six and teamwork.
Does Siege Ranked have a lot of players that no comm, just run it down all the time?
You definitely get those people if you're like solo queuing and stuff like that for sure. I don't know. For the most part now, over the last few years, I've really tried to like basically 5-stack when I play. I will solo queue from time to time, like when I have to, but I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. For me, I call in game, but I've turned my voice comms off. Like I don't know, people will just like queue snipe and get like crazy. And like obviously, there's nothing like people do it for content now too.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of streamers who will like purposely leave voice comms on. It's like you won't believe what this player said. I'm just like I'm just too like old for this. Like I don't care. I just want to like hang out and like with like chat and just like talk about random stuff and like play the game, especially if I'm solo queuing. But I still always make sure to call in the game so like they could hear me, but I just can't hear them. And then you whatever. I mean, I feel like that's better than most teammates do. I mean, ideally, I would like to leave voice comms on, but pretty much every time that I do, it's like I basically immediately after get queue sniped, there's just someone like screaming something they probably shouldn't be, and I'm like, I'm kind of over this. I'm turning off voice comms. But like I said, I would probably say 95% of the time I have a 5-stack anyway, and we're just talking in Discord, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah,
that makes sense. What do you think? Like, when I said this, we were talking about this the other day. When my kids were in like preschool, well, my oldest was in preschool. I remember going to the school and they would do these things. It was like preschool to second grade or something. And in the hallways, they had these like papers up of like, what do you want to be when you grow up? Yeah. Right. And I was like, oh, it's going to be like doctor, firefighter, whatever. It was like YouTuber. Right. What advice do you have for someone out there who's like, oh, I want to create content. I want to stream on Twitch, or I want to create content on YouTube. What do you think are kind of the most important, skills or things for them to have, or any advice for them of what they're getting into? Maybe not at the preschool level, but slightly older than that.
Yeah. I think it's important. Like, I guess, I talk about it a little bit too, but one thing that I always tell people is don't pass up on your other life obligations in like, the dream of becoming like a content creator or something like that. There is no reason why you can't both do content creation and like work or go to school or whatever it is. I worked full time when I was playing professionally in the beginning. Like, it's totally possible to do both. It's all about just having like proper time. It's like anything, proper time management. And I guess if you're really into it, it's something that you want to do. It's not a waste of time, right? Like people say like, everybody has hobbies, maybe some people it's like sitting in front of a TV. For me, it was playing video games, right? So like when I started creating content and stuff like that, it was like some of it was before the Invitational. So I was still working like full time, playing full time, creating content and stuff like that. So there's no reason that you can't like create content like while not passing up your other life obligations. I think that's something people miss. There's like the one tweet where there's the guy that's like, yeah, I sold my bed for a computer and I lived in a box like gaming for it. I'm like, what do you like? That's not what you have to do. Like, what do you mean? You won't want it enough if you don't sell your bed and sleep on the floor. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you could like just do your take care of your other life obligations, friends, family, going to school, going to work, whatever it might be, and you'll still have time to create content and stuff like that too. Look at what take inspiration from other people is like always a good idea, or from like other games is a good thing, right? Like see if maybe the game that you play is missing a certain thing, right? Like in my case, I just kind of did it anyway, but like, if I looked at other games, there was people making guides for other games, right? And I was kind of the first person, not the only person, but one of the first people making like guides that was like a high level player. So basically you have to find some type of niche that hasn't been covered, right? Before, if you're doing content, at least. If you're a pro player, I mean, it's different for every game, but like you'll basically a lot even at a pro level, people have trouble admitting when they like mess something up or there's something that they can improve on. Um, so like I would always have all of my teams. We'd always do like VOD reviews and stuff like that, where it's like, okay, everyone record your perspective. Where did you mess up? Where can we do better? And you don't want to play with people that are like they can't admit that something went wrong or they made a mistake. It's not to tear people down or anything like that. But like in a game like Siege, where there's like teamwork is really important. If somebody messed something up, it's important to be able to reflect on that and be like, okay, I messed up, or this is what we're doing. We're practicing. This is, the time to correct these mistakes and do better. So I think it depends like what you're doing. If you're playing professionally, looking back on your mistakes is a huge one. And then just differentiating yourself if you're doing some type of content. Like there's you have to have something that grabs people's attention essentially and makes them watch, whether that's entertainment value, enraging, or educational, or an aim training exercise or whatever it may be, right?
What's harder, content creation or being a pro?
I think becoming successful at either one is really difficult. I think now there's like more discoverability for content creation. I think being a content creator is probably easier, I would say, because like being a pro, at least in like a game like Siege, the game is constantly evolving, and it's your job to keep on top of like whatever the new meta is, whatever the new stuff that's coming out, and be like the first to kind of capitalize on it. Whereas that's basically like what a content creator is trying to do too, but for entertainment value, right? Like, oh, here's the new operator and here's what you could do. But the thing is, if you're a pro player, you have to figure out how to do that first before anybody else does, and incorporate it into pro play and incorporate it into team play. So yeah, I'd definitely say pro play for sure.
Yeah. I mean, just like you said, there's a new meta frequently. I'm playing Warzone right now, and just randomly on my Twitter feed, it's like new Warzone gun meta, but it's like every day. It's like every day there's a new gun meta. And I'm like, well, what the hell is going on here?
What's the new meta? Tell me.
Yeah. Tell me, because I'm going to try it, but I don't believe you.
Is this clickbait or is this actually real?
Yeah.
That was one of the things I'm interested with Rivals, of like them putting out. I mean, how frequently does Siege have a new operator? Like how frequently, at what pace do they bring out a new operator?
They used to do 2 every season, and then they reduce it so every 3 months. And then they reduced it to 1 per season, and then last year, but I think it was only because it was in preparation for Siege X, they did 2 for the whole year.
Yeah.
But I believe with Siege X we're going back to 4. I think. I don't know if they announced that or not yet, or if they're like, I don't know. I want to say they said they're going back to 4, but I'm not positive. So yeah, I mean, basically like every 3 months there's like a new operator, but there's a lot of rebalancing too. Yeah. So like maybe an operator that was like super good, they have these like little graphs they put out every season. It's like the developer notes of like this. It shows you the win rate to the pick rate of an operator. So if an operator is like overpicked and winning too much, then they nerf it. A lot of times, not every time, but
yeah. Or bring everyone else up so that it's not.
Yeah. So that happens too, right? So it's like you'll either get nerfs or buffs. So it's like, even though there might technically only be like 1 operator per season, it might be 5, 6. Maybe they change an attachment on a gun, which could change like every gun in the game. And now you're like tasked to figure out like, okay, like now they change, like, for example, they changed the long barrel. Before it would give your gun less damage fall off past whatever, like 20 meters. But now it actually just does more damage. So now you have to go through on like every gun and be like, all right, well, it does 12% extra damage. So a 2 armor operator is 110 health. So now I can kill a 2 operator in 1 less bullet with a body shot. But now I have to like take into account that like the recoil is a little worse than the other attachments. So like, there's like, if they change like one little thing, it might take you like months to really like dial in on all those, for everyone in the community to dial in on those changes and be like, okay, this is like the new meta gun, the new meta attachment.
You can drop those every day.
Yeah. Just change, Ubisoft, just change an attachment again, please. I need content. No, I'm kidding.
New meta. Sell your bed.
Sell your bed.
Content.
Sell your bed. Buy a bidet.
Yep.
And get good at Siege.
That's it. Yeah. Listen, you're saving money on toilet paper, there's no itching. Like, how are you going to lose? How are you gonna lose? No distractions.
Yeah.
Only positive outcomes.
What are you doing outside of gaming right now? Minus obviously being a father, but are you back in the gym working out? Shoulders all good now?
Shoulders all good and stuff. I wish I actually need to get like back working out again. I don't know. For the most part, yeah, I haven't been, but mostly now for outside of Siege, I'm just mostly hanging out with the kids and stuff like that a lot, and friends, and that's pretty much it. Just trying to hang out with family and friends as much as possible, and that's the stuff that like really matters. You figure that out more in life as you get older.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. I tried to do like dad exercises because I would feel like guilty. I'd work so much. If I wasn't working, all I wanted to do was hang out with my family, with my wife and my kids. So I'd feel like super guilty. So I started to try and do like dad exercises, where like pick up the kid, have them on my back and stuff like
Couple
that.
squats.
Like, yeah, totally. Yeah, I would. I'd like every little piece I could get, and they think it's hilarious, right? They're just like, oh, this is super fun. But yeah, I'm literally like, hold a kid, do 10 squats, maybe do some push-ups with one on my back, carry him as much as I can, like try to get it in everywhere I can. If I got to do work calls, do it on a walk, and that person's got to suffer through me like heavy breathing on a call as I'm like walking a couple miles, but then like, okay, I'm a little bit healthier, and it didn't take away from family time.
That's what I've been trying to do too. So we do walks and stuff like that too. And it's like, it's kind of funny. Sometimes I'll get on stream and they'll be like, oh, did you start working out? Like, you have like a little pump today. I'm like, my kids were throwing a tantrum and I had to like chase and pick them up. So, same thing pretty much, It's imagine like a 35-pound dumbbell, but it's running from you.
6 reps. 3 sets.
You can start streaming on walks. Like, what I just remember seeing the videos of that guy that would have the green screen attached behind him, and he's just like walking around and doing stuff.
Oh yeah,
you just go for walks, playing Siege while you're out trying to get some exercise. Playing Siege at the gym on the treadmill.
Yeah. I gotta get like I already have a green screen. I'll just get a treadmill desk, and then I'll have a fan in front of me and a TV just like blowing air at me. Good enough.
Perfect.
You don't want to be doing that heavy breathing on in-game though.
Yeah. Push it, duck. Easy. We got solutions for that.
We got anything else?
Is there anything before we wrap up that you wanted to, any shout outs or anything that you wanted to talk about, or
no, mostly just thank you very much for having me on. I've obviously enjoyed always hanging out. We hung out. It's been a while since we've actually hung out in person. It was New York, like in 2018 or something. Yeah,
something
it was a long time ago.
Man, time flies.
It does. God.
I know. I was looking for my KG shirt today. I was telling Jim, I was like, oh, I'm gonna wear it, the white one. I remember texting you like, man, I look good today. Like, in my KingGeorge shirt, but I don't know where it is. I've moved too many times since then, but so I have to get some new ones.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but mostly just thank you very much for having me on. Always appreciate working when I've worked with Aimlab and stuff like that, and enjoyed the app a lot. And that's it. I guess I stream on Twitch every day and buy my Bidet's Throne Bidet. You can look for it on Amazon and Walmart. So
buy the bidet.
There you go.
Yeah.
Watch the stream. We'll put a little. I'm like pointing.
Jonah.
I'm like yelling at the guy who's actually going to do all the work. Hey, you. Put the thing.
Bidet link here.
We'll run an ad right after this. It's attached at the end.
Awesome. Thank you, man.
It's a warm
He's playing below.
summer day.
Probably.
Sweat on your brow.
One friendly operator remaining.
Falls down your forehead, down your nose. All of a sudden, you feel a bubbling in your stomach. It's a giant swamp consumed your fucking pants, and you're frantically looking for a bathroom. You head inside, drop the biggest dump of your life, and then the power, the KingGeorge bidet, blasts your asshole clean,
removing the tar like diarrhea from your asshole. Life is good.
What do you guys think?